Let's talk about a guy who is one of the favorites to win the MVP next season in Ronald Acuna. What do you think his chances are of winning the MVP? I see you pointing at the jersey right there.
You already know, baby. I had to bring the hat out for the Braves today.
I know you've been excited about him, Adam. When you look at this 2021 season, and it's a preview, and we know guys could come out of nowhere and perform, where do you think Ronald Acuna ends the season? Do you see him finally getting that MVP in his young career?
I hope so, man, because Vegas Insider is betting on him to potentially do it. He's 4th overall in their MVP odds. Let's not forget, Ronald Acuna was 3 steals away from a 40-40 season. And if you do the math from last year, he would have been a 250 hitter, so there is more there to be desired. But for everyone listening, that's about that's 1 out of 4 for every at-bat with almost 50 home runs and over 100 RBIs. If Major League Baseball would have had 162 game season last year, that's what you would have been seeing out of Ronald Acuna. And like I said, Vegas has him the 4th overall to win the NL MVP. He's a top 3 to 5 player in this league since he has entered, yes, as a rookie. Ronald Acuna Jr. has been that good. And I'm going to give you a stat here that's absolutely insane. Not a guy like Mike Trout has been in this club. If you look at his numbers, he's played about 2 full Major League Baseball seasons, right? He's hitting about a 281 average, 42 home runs, and 100 RBIs, 32 steals over a 162 game span, if you go and do the math from the seasons that he had. Now, there's a 40 home run, 200 hit, 100 RBI, and 35 stolen base club that only includes 4 people that have ever stepped into the game: Jacoby Ellsbury, Vladimir Guerrero, Alfonso Soriano, and A-Rod. The fact that Mike Trout has not entered that, and I'm not saying Ronald Acuna is better than Mike Trout, but it shows you what this kid brings to the table. He's got the power. He's got the hustle. He's got the discipline. He's got the drive. He's got everything that you need in a Major League Baseball player to be a star of a team. He can hit the ball very effectively. He can be a power hitter. He can be a contact hitter. We know he's quick. We know the fielding that he has. He's already got a couple silver sluggers under his belt, which for people who don't know, that means he was the best hitter at center field in his position in Major League Baseball. So to get a silver slugger already twice, just now really going into his 3rd year in Major League Baseball, I think this kid can definitely win the MVP. I think he could do it next season. There's no question about that. 10th in OBP, 9th in OPS, You got him 5th in runs scored, 9th in walks, and that's all with the COVID year last year where he didn't necessarily show out to be too great. But you look at the stats that matter, like I said, with the OBP, the OPS. You got him runs scored, walks, becoming more of a patient hitter. This guy is primed to win the MVP next year. He's the heart of this team. The only thing I could say that he needs to bring forward, he did hit 179 last year in the NLCS. You do need more out of your best player that's on your team. We know about Freddie Freeman, but I mean, look at Acuna that's on the other side of him that can create so much for a guy like him. I would love to see this man right here win the NL MVP next year.
And what we're going to see is this, Adam. Here's my prediction, 40-40. It's going to happen.
It's got to happen, man. 3 steals away from it in 2019.
Yep, it's going to happen. You look at a guy, 3 great seasons. Here's my thing with him. I know he's going to be great. I want to see him in a certain type of way. Take that leadership role. I think this is the leadership role year. He needs to take over this team where it's from Freddie Freeman to his team. I think he needs to be a little bit more vocal, and maybe he is a little bit, but I think he needs to be that complete leader on that team. And if he could do that, he's going to elevate this Braves team even more. You're going to see the Paches, the Rileys, all these guys will talk, Bryce Wilson, all of them take over his personality and play at a higher level. You feel me? He is a star right now. I think he gets it done. I think he can win the MVP. He stays healthy. He can win the MVP. His on-base percentage was up this season. There's nothing that's telling me not that he's going to get at least 40-40. And shoot, 50-50?
That would be insane.
I'm just saying, I don't know, man. This year, Adam, if he starts off strong, potentially. Remember the year last year? People were talking about, that 40-40 thing early on with him.
Right.
At one point, we thought it would be a sure thing.
Right. So 2019, he was there. He was like, and he went on a slump, I want to say. I know somebody's going to quote me and like call me out in the comments, whatever it may be, but I know there was something that happened. I want to say it was like a crazy slump that he went on to where he didn't hit or not that he didn't hit any more home runs, but he just wasn't able to swipe bases. There was some sort of something going on, I remember, at the end of that season to where he couldn't completely accomplish the 40-40 year. But you bring up Freddie Freeman, MV free from last season.
Yep.
You bring someone into the locker room, into the clubhouse that's got the MVP caliber under their belt. Freddie Freeman's been a top first baseman in this league for God knows how long, bringing in a guy like Acuna, who's been there, he's going to have Freeman around him. And then you mentioned all the young talent, Albies, Riley, Pache, Wilson. They're going to feed off of these guys. They're going to feed off the veteran leadership of Freeman. But then if they see that channel into Acuna as well, a guy that's closer to them, they're probably, closer with Acuna on a more of a maturity level, probably kicking it in the same way, different than they would Freddie Freeman. So they're going to look up to him. They're going to see that guidance from him, man. So I'm totally there with you on Acuna winning it next year. I think he has the capabilities to do it.
Absolutely. Last year, let me say these stats real quick. The Braves, they led the MLB with hits, doubles run in, bats ran in, base percentage on base, slugging, total base. So you already know this team could hit, and Ronald Acuna and Freddie Freeman are a big part of that.